So people are really interested in this topic, right? You're
Well, after this call, you'll find out why.
all right. tell us,
Awesome.
tell us why. Why are people really interested in this glutathione revolution?
Well, the thing is, if you think about it, the most abundant molecule produced in human body is glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
Hmm.
two most important things in life we need without them we cannot survive is air and water,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Yeah.
can we can survive without air for maybe a few minutes at the most, and then once the air runs out, you're done, right? Same thing with water. Without water, you can survive for a few days, right? And after that, your life doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Internally, a body produces the number one molecule produces glutathione. Without glutathione, there's very short. There's a time limit on how long you can live because without that, there's no body functions happening.
So we need it
So
pretty much. We live on
yeah.
it.
Absolutely, we need it. All
Our
of us
life
need it.
depends on it.
The life depends on it, and the best part about this thing is the body can make plenty of it.
Mm.
Hmm.
What the downside is that yes, we do make plenty of it, but then our behavior, we want more.
Mm.
Um, we use up more than what we can produce,
And
I
and then
is
see.
our body
and then
like
we go in debt.
conscious? Is our body
Uh,
conscious of this like need for it, or like do we become aware of it when we have a lack of it?
we don't get aware of it when it's lack of it. We see the symptoms uh, literally few years after it's
Mhm.
completely diminished, right? And so that's the
Yeah.
sad part. Is you don't even know that you don't have any glutathione levels until a few years later, when the body has gone through some changes and it stop adjusting.
So,
That's
and
a bit
what are
scary.
these symptoms that people should be aware of? Just, I don't know, just so that people can be careful.
So there are no symptoms per se, because if you think about it, the main function for glutathione in your body is to reduce oxidation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And once you remove the oxidation, your body goes back to normalcy. When it goes back to normalcy, there's nothing to measure. There's no blood tests. There's no scans. There's nothing that the body needs to be seen up. And even if it
Hmm.
doesn't get to normal, and there's this little bit of it's like a little bit of a gap there for a few days, few months, few years. There's no changes happening in your body, anyways, because the body says, you know what, it'll go back to normal, or next day it'll try to get back to normal. So the body is constantly adjusting and recalibrating all the time to make sure that your body always stays nice and healthy. It's it's once it goes past a point where it takes maybe 10 years, 5, 10 years or more, that the body cannot return back to normal. That's when the first time you see there's some changes in your blood work or your scans. Something shows up in some place, right? Maybe
Mm.
there's
Yeah.
something's well, not crazy enough not to alarm you to that you have a problem right now, but it's just there is some issue, so maybe you want to look into it. I said, well, that's why I came to you, doctor, to look into it, and then you're telling me to go someplace else. That doesn't work, right? But that's what the consumers are facing right now. They don't have a clear indication on what happens uh, today if my gluten levels are low, because it takes years for the damage to happen.
Okay. So who needs to be taking glutathione then? How do you know if you need to be taking it?
So there's ways to improve glutathione levels in your body without medications or supplementations whatsoever, and that's the first thing you got to do
Mm.
is to do
Hmm.
that part. So anybody and everybody, I have young kids, and all my kids, I make sure their diet consists of cysteine and amino acids that's required to produce the glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you do that part, your body is absolutely able to make it until the last breath on this planet. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no need for us to do any supplementation whatsoever. If you read my book, it says a 14-day plan to boost your glutathione level.
Mm-hmm.
That's a marketing plot. Don't just fall for that gimmick. Right? It's it's a lifelong plan. It's not a 14-day plan. It's a lifelong plan. You have to do that stuff every single day of your life. It just not just to boost it and forget about it, right? It takes
Yeah.
years to replenish what you're missing and to go back to normalcy or
Mm-hmm.
homeostasis, what we call it. And if you can achieve that, you can literally reverse all your problems. And the
Wow.
second thing is about it, think about it, is if it's reducing oxidation, the issue is, well, what does oxidation cause in your body? What does it do? if you have excess oxidation, if you think about it, if you have a nails, if
Hmm.
it's a nail that is getting oxidized, that means it's getting rusted,
Yeah.
right? If it gets
Yep.
rusted, eventually the rust will become very brittle and the nail just disappears, right? So that's what's
Yep.
Yeah.
happening to a body. The body is getting rusty from inside. Now, if it gets rusty, each and every organ is affected. So if that's the case, if you just oxidation causes oxidative stress, and if you
Yeah.
just put in your favorite search engine, what is oxidative stress and what disease are linked to it, and your mind is going to go crazy right now as it goes, oh my God, every known conditions that you die from is linked to oxidative stress.
Mm.
Wow.
Now, if
So
that is not a
basically, your
profound statement, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so basically, your whole body is affected by oxidization stress. Is is
And
that, is
that's
that
the
correct?
that's a scary part. Your whole body needs glutathione at all the times. I
Hmm.
don't care if you're a 2 year old or you're 102 years old. It
Hmm.
doesn't really matter, right? Your
Yeah.
body needs it, plenty of it. And as you start aging, the ability to produce glutathione kind of slightly diminishes that portion out, so you get a little bit slower and not
Mhm.
recoup it much faster. And that's why some sort of supplementations may be beneficial at that point. But when you're young, no. Reduce your expenses, increase your consumption of the amino acids, and your body can make plenty of it.
Okay, cool.
Amazing. Uh,
So, how do we do that? How do we increase the amount that's in our body?
So, you know what? People always look at how do I get more? How do I get more?
Hmm.
My grandpa used to tell me, I said, Nayan, when you grow up, you don't need more money. You just need to reduce expenses. Ah, right? So
yeah.
the
That's a good
thing
point.
is, I said, okay, fine. I can reduce your expenses, but I still need more money because my needs are going to keep on increasing as I age, right? Because I see more things, I want to do more things, right? And when your body is so good, you want to push it to the limits. I want to jump off the cliff. I want to take a challenge and jump off the plane. Hopefully with a parachute or something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, when you're young and body is completely intact, you want to explore more things. So,
Hmm.
what I'm saying is that number one thing is reduce expenses. What use of glutathione? Uh, Exposure to chemicals, exposure
Hmm.
to toxic fumes, exposure to products of combustion like fire, right? Fire in your house, fire in the environment, anything that can
Fire in
cause.
Los Angeles.
I'm in Los Angeles myself, and a few months ago when we had the fires, oh my God, the pollution was off the charts. And I was interviewed by Forbes Health, and we started discussing those things. And I said the first thing we need is to make sure protect your mouth so that you're not breathing the toxic chemicals. But regardless of whatever you do, you're still going to get something through your body. And when that happens, you need to activate your glutathione productions in your body. So that's going to help you detoxify and get rid of it,
Hmm.
right? And so all these things. And the one thing that depletes the glutathione levels to zero is alcohol. Even one
Really?
drink of alcohol can knock your glutathione levels to zero. Now,
Wow.
it's only for the next 2 to 4 hours, and the body will quickly start making more again. But if you do that every day,
Yeah.
now we got some problem.
It
Eventually, the
really
body
is a
says
poison.
it's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
poison, absolutely
Wow.
a poison, right? And so the first thing we do is reduce expenses. And once you've done all those things in your power to reduce it out, and I do understand we live in a modern day society that you cannot get rid of every single thing. And I understand that part, right? But
Yeah.
whatever you can, breathe clean air. Keep in mind that 80% of your life is either stuck in a office, stuck in a home, or in your car. That's
Mhm.
80% of your life. 80% of the time, you better be breathing clean air, right?
Yeah.
Second part, right? You need to drink water. And yes, I drink coffee and tea every morning, and I get my water from there. But no, what's wrong with just clean, crisp water, right? So make sure we have clean water source that we're drinking from on a daily basis. And if you can refrain from juices and all the things that can bring additional elements to your body, we can reduce that part. So
Hmm.
apart from modern day conveniences, whatever you can humanly possibly do, please reduce expenses down. Then
Mhm.
how to increase the glutathione levels? The body needs three things right now. One, it needs three amino acids:
Hmm.
glycine, glutamine, and cysteine. Those three amino acids are critical to produce the glutathione. Those three amino acids needs two enzymes to bring all those amino acids together. Requires two molecules of ATP, which is energy, and one molecule of NAD for electron transfer for the chemical reaction to happen faster. So if
Yeah.
you have all those materials, right, you can make plenty of it. If one is missing, if one is missing, then you can make anything. For example, let's say you want to build a house.
Hmm.
You're going to build a house. You buy all the lumber and all the drywalls, and they only deliver one box of nails for you. Well,
You
you have
can't
all
build
the
it.
big stuff, but you cannot put together because one box of nails is not going to last you too long, right? And so
Exactly.
you can
It's a
make you can
number of
make one
sources.
wall together, and the rest of the house is going to wait until the next shipment of nail comes in. And so everything has to be there. Everything has to be there. If one is missing, then you cannot make enough glutathione. And as you age, right, the number of mitochondria decreases, and the production of ATP also decreases.
And your
If there's
energy
no,
decreases.
if there's no energy, exactly, there's no energy, the body cannot produce enough glutathione.
Mm.
And so
Okay.
we got to do whatever it takes to make sure that we don't deplete of any of these enzymes, energy, amino acids, either from our diet or from our own habits that's depleting those molecules outside your body,
Wow.
right? And once you do those two things, then you have enough glutathione and enough. And if you do every single thing possible in your life, around about age 35 and 40, you're going to hit that there's a gap between what your body's needs are and what your body can produce. There's a gap. This gap is what we call oxidative stress. Oxidation happens every single day because you're breathing oxygen. You're drinking H2O water.
Hmm.
So oxidation is happening all the time. It's happening. The body will neutralize this by glutathione. So glutathione is considered as an antioxidant because it neutralizes all the free radicals, and so becomes back to normal. But when the oxidation is increasing and your body's ability is not there, the gap is what we call oxidative stress. And this oxidative stress, as you start aging, starts increasing and increasing and increasing. And when it goes to a critical point, that oxidative stress is leading to some symptoms. Could be brain fog, could be low on energy, could be aches and pains all over your body,
Hmm.
could be you're getting infections all the time, or you're not sleeping better, your thinking capacity reduces.
Which
All
is
this,
aging, right? It just sounds
it's
like
just
how you
aging. It's
describe
just
someone
aging.
getting older and their body's kind of declining. Hmm.
Exactly. But when that happens and the body cannot correct it,
Hmm.
that's when the onset of diseases kicks in. And once you diagnose with any one disease, that is point of no return. I can get you back to over that point. That means you feel healthy up until that point, but I cannot bring you back to a 20-year-old kid again. And so the early on, you look very young over here, both of you guys right now. So I'm
I'm using
assuming
glutathione.
you should be doing that. But
I'm
if you're
supplementing.
under the age of 40, there's a very good possibility that you can stay younger and
Hmm.
get back to a 20-year-old youthful, where you have every single thing intact, back once more time, right? And if you can get there and stay there, the aging is going to be delayed or slow down dramatically. Yes, your
Yeah.
skin may age and you look older, maybe your hair gets a little bit grayer, and that has to do with catalase. Catalase is another enzyme that the body produces to deal with the oxidative stress as well. And excess catalase can also increase hydrogen peroxide, makes you gray hair. But again, that's superficial. That is superficial as body's way to deal with oxidative stress, right? But overall, overall, you can stay healthy all the time.
Hmm. Wow. So help me understand. a few things. We have like we're born with a supply of glutathione. Like we have a certain amount and it's depleted over time and it goes up and down and regenerates, or how does that work?
So your body makes glutathione every day.
Okay.
Yeah, it just needs the, again, I said, it just needs the building blocks, amino acids, which comes from your diet,
Mm-hmm.
enzymes that your body produces. The ATP energies is from the carbs you eat that's going to produce some energy out of it. And so, as long as you have all those components for you, boom, the body can make enough glutathione. Keep in mind, glutathione is a tripeptide, right? It's just a peptide,
Yeah.
the tripeptide. Your body can make bipeptide, which is two amino acids, tripeptide, quad, five, up to hundreds, if not
Mm-hmm.
thousands, right? Like if you think about muscle fiber needs 6,000 amino acids coming together to make one muscle fiber, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so your body needs to make all these things all the time. It's not like when you buy a car,
Mm-hmm.
anything goes wrong, you have to put a new part in there. A body does not get new parts. The body regenerates all the time,
Mm-hmm.
repairs all the time. And to repair and regenerate the body needs lots of amino acids, right?
Mhm.
And if your body does not have to produce glutathione because you're taking from outside sources for sometimes, then boy, oh boy, you have enough energy, enough amino acids, enough enzymes to do all kinds of work,
Yeah.
And
right?
amino acid, is that related to protein?
Well,
Um,
it's a form of just a peptide, right? It's a big peptide.
mm-hmm.
Protein is a molecule that basically you ingest. The body cannot absorb proteins at all.
Mm,
What the body does, body will unfold the proteins into long chain. We're using acids, right?
mm,
So your stomach
Mhm.
acid will unfold the protein, make it longer, and then the enzymes will chop off the proteins into amino acids, and those amino acids gets absorbed by the body and reused. So that means, let's say, for example, you ate a 30 grams of protein from a steak, for example,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
20% of of the protein is going to get destroyed in just unfolding and chopping it up. So it takes energy to absorb the protein. So
Yeah.
out of 30 grams of protein, you may get 24 grams of protein being
Oh
absorbed
wow.
into amino acids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from there,
And
those amino acids have to come together to make peptides that your body needs. The body has to make all its peptides. You cannot take a peptide from outside sources and the body doesn't absorb it. None.
Wow.
and when it
Saeed?
comes to like a diet and like health lifestyle, what would you recommend to increase your glu- glutathione levels?
So I would love to tell you about my diet plans, but the thing is, telling people about the nutrition plan is worse than religion, right? Everybody has their own opinion about diet plans.
uh,
So my goal is not to give you my opinions. I'm going to tell you how to find the right diet plan for you.
sure.
So if you want to improve
Yeah.
glutathione levels, you need the three amino acids: glycine, glutamine, and cysteine. Now, glycine and glutamine is easily found in most of your diet you eat. Cysteine is not. Cysteine is an acquired taste, right?
Okay.
Because cysteine smells funny, it's sulfur odor, and so people are not going to willingly going to eat cysteine-rich foods because it just doesn't taste as good. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your favorite search engine or your AI robot, ask it, give me cysteine-rich foods. And you're going to get your list of vegan choices, your vegetarian choices,
Mm.
your paleo, your Mediterraneans, your carnivore, your omnivores. I don't know, Amazonian diet. I don't know what diet you follow. You're going to get your choices. And you're going to take those choices and make sure that is part of your daily diet. Not once in a while, every single day. If let's see if it's avocados on is on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say eat
Hmm.
avocado every single day. What I'm saying is that avocado needs to be in your diet plan, but pick 10, 15, 20 food items in there and rotate those foods on a daily basis. That's going to give you the best chance to
Yeah.
improve glutathione levels inside your body. And by the way, I mentioned to you, this is the most abundant molecule produced in human body. If the number one job for you in your body is to produce glutathione, and that's already been taken care of by your body, now guess what? The body is free to do everything. Make more peptides, make more muscle fibers, detoxify your liver, detoxify your kidneys, detoxify your lungs. There's so much things your body can do if the number one job is taken care of it.
Wow. And so it is like the key to health,
It's
honestly.
absolutely key to hell. And the
Mm-hmm.
word the revolution came into my book. The reason is because when I mastered how to improve glutathione levels superficially from outside sources,
Mm-hmm.
it is this short of a miracle. And the word revolution is an understatement if you understand the benefits of what all the glutathione can do for us, and if there's a way to get inside your body without your body getting interfered at all.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, can you give us an example of um someone with health issues, and then just by fixing their glutathione levels, they're able to regain some of their health back?
So if somebody has a health issue, it doesn't matter what health issues they have. There are thousands of different health issues you can have,
Mm-hmm.
and glutathione can have an impact on every one of them, right? Um, you can, with the help of glutathione, you can bring it back to sort of a normalcy, but you cannot go back to disease free completely,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
just want to make sure you understand that part. With the help of glutathione, the body can detoxify faster. For example, if you have liver enzymes elevation, right? Well, liver enzymes is what? The liver is getting too taxed, too much metabolized, too much
Mm-hmm.
chemicals into the liver. The liver goes, oh my God, I got too much work. So the liver is getting inflamed. The liver gets inflamed, the liver enzymes goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
if you have enough glutathione, it will start cleaning the liver out right away. Once the liver gets cleaned up, the inflammation goes down, the liver enzymes drops, right? And so
Okay.
that's an easy one to people to see that part visually and say, oh my God, my levels are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other thing is, let's say you have high triglycerides.
Mm-hmm.
High triglycerides, basically your liver and spleen not able to process all this excess sludge in your
Mm-hmm.
blood, right? So it's getting increasing, and that can lead to all kinds of diseases, like including diabetes. And so, if you can clean the liver out, if you can help, the glutathione can help aid the liver into conjugations and getting rid of all the toxic chemicals, the triglyceride comes down.
Okay.
Now, glutathione by itself is not a drug. It's not there to treat any diseases, any conditions whatsoever. All it's doing, it's helping your body become more efficient. And when it becomes more efficient, all of a sudden, the diseases just kind of disappears a little bit, right? The symptoms goes away. I have so many patients that have come to me and said, you know what, I start taking the product and all of a sudden I sleep better at nighttime. Well, of course, your brain is such a small part of your whole body. Your brain's only 2% of the whole body, yet it consumes 20% of all the oxygen that we breathe in. It's your main CPU. If your body doesn't get the oxygen, it doesn't matter. Your brain gets it first. So the highest amount of oxidative stress in your body is in your brain. And the brain related diseases, as of today, has no cure. Alzheimer's, ALS, Huntington's, Parkinson's. I
Parkinson's.
mean, just you can
Mm-hmm.
name the
Yeah.
diseases, concussions and PTSDs and all kinds of things. We cope with it, we deal with it, but there's no reversal of it.
So
What if?
if there's no reversal of it, is raising glutathione levels able to stop or aid with these chronic diseases?
Well, the glutathione is absolutely going to help to reduce oxidative stress down. Once you reduce oxidative
Okay.
stress down, the further damage stops. The damage that
Hmm.
has already done uh, needs to be fixed somehow. And if your body's young enough, yes, you can deal with it. And you can body can try to fix it. But if you're in your 70s and 80s and 90s, you're missing a lot of different things. Plus, there are fires everywhere. There's not just one fire. When you're in the 80s and 90s, you have aches and pains in your body. Maybe your gait is off the charts. You maybe have some issues up in the brain. Maybe you have issues in the lungs and the kidneys and the hearts, and every single organ needs help. At that point, what you're going to decide is, well, what's the body going to work first? Let me give it let me give you an analogy so you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see, um, you come home with with a bunch of groceries, right? Both your hands are full, right? You kick the door open somehow. I don't know. Maybe you're sprung. You kick the door open and put your groceries on the kitchen counter. But since the door
Yeah.
was open, the wind comes in and brings in the dirt, the leaves, and the junk inside your house, right? What happens then? Well, you know what needs to be done. You got to clean the house because the house is dirty now.
Hmm.
You start cleaning the house, but the house never gets cleaned up. You know why? Because the door is still open. You got to close the door first.
Mm.
So even though the debris are in the house, you got to close the door first. Once you close the door, then you can deal with it, right? But if you
Yeah.
close the door, is the debris in the house going to get cleaned up by itself? No. You
No,
still
you
got to
still have to
clean the
fight it. Yeah.
you can still got to fight it, right? So you still need tools, a vacuum, a broom, or whatever, right? You need some tools to clean the house from inside. So even though you use glutathione to stop the oxidative stress and you close the door, you still need your body to basically heal from inside or clean up from inside.
Hmm.
But let's say your body cleans up insides and dump all those junk proteins and all the chemicals in your liver, or it makes a pile of it. Let's say you
Yeah.
sweep up all the dirt in your house. Now there's a big old pile of dirt. The dirt still have to go out. You still have to get rid
Yeah.
of
You
it.
still have to detox.
So that's what the glutathione aids in the process of detoxification in your liver. So glutathione does two things for you: shuts the door down so the debris doesn't
Hmm.
come inside your house. Once whatever the debris are in your house, it waits for your body to clean up all the debris, and then it will conjugate and get rid of it through elimination pathways. So there's a two things it does for you. So if you have a problem that took us 20 years to get to that stage, for example, you have a completely damaged liver, for example,
Yeah.
it did not happen overnight, right? It took years and years, if not decades, to get to that stage, right? So if you want to go
Yes.
back to normalcy, yes, you can stop the oxidative stress down. The body's going to take a long time to repair, right? Once the repair is done, all the debris that's collected, glutathione can also help in the aids of processing and getting rid of the debris.
Wow.
So over time, yes, you can do that work and help your body revive.
Nobody told me about this before. This is news to me. Me and Syed went to the same school. We took biology. I don't know. No one told me about this.
Never even glutathione in my life before this.
Well, the thing is, you can a doctor can only provide you talk about a problem if there's a solution for it. What if there was no
Mm.
solution for it? Then they don't talk about it. Because if you tell them that, hey, oh yeah, you have no hair, you're bald. Oh, doc, can you do something about it? Oh no, nothing. And then why did you mention it that I'm bald, right? It doesn't make sense. So doctor don't talk about glutathione because until today there was no way to improve those levels besides taking amino acids. And the amino acids requires it's not just by itself is enough. You still need ATP energy, you need enzymes, you need NAD. There's a lot of things that you need to improve
Yeah.
glutathione levels. And if you think about it, in back in the 60s, FDA actually approved a medicine called mucomist, which is N-acetylcysteine, as a drug to improve glutathione levels. And till today, that is the only drug still available in the hospitals.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it more of like it would be labeled maybe as preventative medicine instead of like typical typical medicine you would find in hospitals and general treatments?
So the reason it is approved in a hospital setting because one of the main thing that is used for is people overdose on pain pills.
Hmm.
And when you overdose on pain pills,
Ooh.
especially Tylenol or acetaminophen, that is very toxic to the liver, right?
Hmm.
And so what they do is they give this mucomist, makes helps your body produces enough glutathione to detoxify so you don't die from it. right? And
Okay.
that's it. Once you're not dead, the hospital goes, okay, go out now, go enjoy your life. You're not dead now, right? But the thing is, they don't give you those options on a daily basis to take it.
Yeah.
They don't talk about these things all the time.
Hmm.
Hospital doctors are not there to be a life coach for you. They have a job because you're about to die, and my job is to save you from dying, and
Hmm.
that's it. Their job's done. The doctor that are
That's
outside
true.
the hospital settings are the one that actually have best interest in your health, and they should be doing that for you, right? But you know, in the United States, the average physicians have 5 to 7 minutes to see a doctor to see a patient,
Hmm.
and the patients that they see a doctor have a laundry list of questions,
Yeah.
right? And we have all the, if you can ask your AI robot about any diseases, and they will give you a whole bunch of answers, and you can say answers and go to the doctor and say, doctor, is this true? The doctor has to sift through the information to give you the truth answer. So even though we have so much information, who are you going to trust? A physician, an AI robot, an internet, a web search, some research articles. It is very difficult to figure out who do you trust. We have all this
Hmm.
information, but nobody tells you which one is correct or which one is not.
So, do you think we should actually start finding ways to integrate AI into the medical field, for like patient diagnoses and treatments, or should we just leave it to the physicians? Keep AI out of this.
Personally, I like AI. I think
Hmm.
it can do a lot of grunt work for you, and it's not like should we use it or not use it, right? But if you ask me this question in the late 90s, should we use the internet or not? I said, you know, it's not about whether or not to use it. The question is, how do I integrate efficiently, and how can I make it more reliable? That's the
Hmm.
question that I want to know more. And the only way to make it reliable is that all the heads in the world right now needs to keep on improving the technology to make sure that the information that we get that we can rely on. Like today, if you type anything in the calculator, whatever answer you get as numbers, you can rely on it, right?
Good point.
You never
Hmm.
Yeah,
will second guess it. But back in the 50s, when the first came out, there are a lot of glitches in there.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
Um,
Hmm.
Ali.
I had a question about the effect of fasting on glutathione levels because um, you made it sound like you need to eat um, different foods that have amino acids to help increase it, but I heard that fasting actually increases glutathione levels as well. How does that work? Is that true?
That's an easy one, right?
Okay.
Because when you're fasting, what are you not doing? You're not eating. If you're not eating, guess what? Your liver doesn't have to process any chemicals.
Mm,
Think about it.
Fair.
All the diet you eat, 90% is going to get thrown out again.
mm,
Only 10% gets absorbed, right? All the junk needs to get out, right? And so the body has to process all those things. You got to remember one thing in life is that whatever you put through your mouth, right? It's more work for your body. And if the body can use it up efficiently, great. But the body uses up what it needs. It still has to process the waste. So the less waste you have to process, the better off you are. In that case, I'm a pharmacist by trade, so people will say, well, in that case, how about I just take the pure form of vitamins and that's all I need to do? And the answer is yes, that you should do that if you know all the vitamins that your body needs. The question is, the answer is the thing we don't know what the body needs are going to be.
mm,
And the science has not evolved to the point where we have mapped each and every ingredient that our body needs to survive. We know
Hmm.
amino acids are great for you. And personally, I'm vegetarian most of the time, and I don't eat any meats or anything else like that unless I have no other choice. And I may get a piece of fish sometimes, once in a while, not regularly. But I
Hmm.
make sure my consumptions in amino acids is the highest. So I'll drink amino acids because that's the basic building blocks.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I make sure that I take care of that part as a supplementation, but at the same time, my diet is never reduced. So fasting absolutely help. I do intermittent fasting myself. I don't eat for at least 14 to 16 hours every day, and then I'll try to compress my eating. I started eating about 11 o'clock ish in the morning, which is my first meal of the day. Is when you do intermittent fasting, it's not how long you break the you don't eat. It's the first meal. The first meal has to be about the same time every single day. As long as
Hmm.
you maintain that part, then you can eat for the next 6 hours or 7 hours or 8 hours, whatever you choose to do. So then you stop it, right? And then the next day again, you come back, and the morning that you start eating, same time again. If you can do that, because the body has anticipatory enzymes that your body starts producing in the anticipation that you're going to eat something, right? And so that helps
Yeah.
your body digest food better, faster, make it more efficient. So your body becomes more efficient that way, right?
Wow.
If you eat one day at 10 o'clock, the second day at noon, the third day at 8 o'clock, and then you did 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the body is, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? I don't know. I don't anticipate what's going to happen to you. If I can anticipate
Yeah.
what's going to happen to you, the body's not prepared. The body's not prepared. The body has to deal with it when it happens. And when it happens, usually the body, it's the food is not digesting in your body, it's rotting. It needs to be digesting pretty fast, right? And so make sure the starting time is always the same.
And
Okay.
so we talked about food and eating properly to fix your glutathione levels. But what about your sleep? Do you have to have a healthy lifestyle, or it doesn't matter? Sleep is unaffected.
Oh my gosh. No, sleep is by far the most important thing, because sleep is the only way you regenerate your brain cells.
Mm.
You're reducing oxidative stress in your brain. As I told you earlier, uh, 20% of all the oxygen that you breathe in goes to your brain. The highest amount of
Hmm.
oxidative stress you have in your body is in your brain. If you're not sleeping for 2 3 days, oh my God, you're going cuckoo, really,
I
literally,
I told
right?
my friends that in college. No one listened. Everyone was staying up all night doing homework. I'm like, you're gonna be stupid the next day.
Yeah, and this is my thing. When I went to college, I went to local school in Southern California over here, and even in my pharmacy school, right? Intense program. I slept at 10 o'clock at night every day. Didn't matter. Woke up at 6 in the morning. My good 8 hours of sleep. When I'm fresh, hey, whatever I have learned, I can apply it right away.
Yeah.
If I try to cram it the night before for my final exams, guess what? I'll even forget the things I didn't remember in the first place. To me, it didn't matter if it was a final exams or midterms or just every day. I go to sleep early. I have my good 8 hours of sleep. I wake up early, and I always feel fresh. And so, absolutely, sleep is the most important thing you should do in your life.
So obviously, we you have your own product for dispersing glutathione to individuals, and it comes in a spray, like kind of like a skincare. So how did you come up with this idea and the technique for it, and how does it exactly work? I'm even volunteering to kind of like show, if you can like guide me, I can do like a visual demonstration. We can draw it on the board and we can work it out. I'll start by drawing a cell actually, and then maybe we can do that.
All right. So before I answer the question, let me just go over with you as to the history of the glutathione, so that way you understand. I had no intention of making a product. My goal was not to create new products. My goal was to uh, use technology that's already available in the marketplace and use it to make my patients some products. So that was my goal. So 1999, at that time, we were using liposome technology to produce glutathione. Liposome technology today is like every company has it. Back in 1999, I don't think that there was any company that was selling liposome based products in the vitamin world. There
Hmm.
was some liposome based product in the in the pharmaceutical side. There were some products in the FDA approved drugs, but nothing on the nutraceutical sides. So we started working on liposome form of technology to deliver glutathione. And I thought that, oh my God, this was going to be the next best thing next to sliced cheese. But it just found out that 2 years later that I was not getting the results I was promised for my patients, right? And so I said
Yeah.
something's not working. I could not figure out why it was not working, but it was not working for all my patients. So I figured that it was not absorbing every single thing. And to bypass the absorption, I said, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight make an injectable form of glutathione and just inject straight into the bloodstream. Hey, my job's done. If it got into the bloodstream, I'm done, right? And so
Yeah.
in 2001, we made the first injectable form of glutathione into the United States and started using those products into the patient base. And what we found out was it was only working for like 15, 20 minutes. And I said, well,
Okay.
what's going on over here, right? And one of the doctors in Las Vegas calls me up and say, that's all I need. I just need to help people that are drunk for 15 to 20 minutes so they can revive them so they don't die on us, right? And so I'll
Yeah.
take it, right? But it was not working for me because I was looking for better outcomes and better results for my patients.
Mhm.
About the
Mhm.
time I was doing some digging up on some research, and we found an article in 1991. There was a research done. It was published in the PubMeds right now that they took 10 subjects, injected them with a glutathione, and what they found out was zero glutathione was entering the red blood cells. All the glutathione was in the plasma, which is the water part of the blood, and the plasma gets filtered by the kidneys every 5 to 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes everything was in the urine.
Oh wow.
And so,
So this
that's
is
why I said,
going.
oh, so that's what I observed already. It was not working, and it was very short lived, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then, what they found out in the same research is that an hour and a half or 2 hours later, they saw a sudden increase in cysteine in the blood, one
Mm.
of the amino acids in the glutathione.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so the researchers concluded that what was happening was even though the glutathione was not getting absorbed, was actually getting broken down into amino acids, and cysteine was getting reabsorbed into the body. And so cysteine was getting reabsorbed. Cysteine is later reused by the body to make its own glutathione. So
Okay.
I said, okay, so that was not working. So I said, okay, I'll make the product, but it was not going to work for me because I want something. I need to bypass the barrier to get to the cells inside your body because otherwise I have to be at a mercy of your body's ability to produce glutathione. And what if you cannot, if there's not enough enzymes, enough energy to make your own glutathione? You're just gonna die. So I said, that's not gonna work for me. So I need to make some other product. So that was my first quest
Mhm.
to finding another technology to deliver peptide. At that time, when I said
Yeah.
peptide, glutathione, peptide, nobody said peptide. What is peptides? I said, okay, forget it. Just say glutathione, right? I started talking about glutathione, and my first thing was it cannot go through the mouth because it gets broken down. Put it through my nose. It was painful. It's burning because the pH of glutathione is very, very low pH.
Mhm.
It burns your
Yeah.
nose off. And so I said, okay, the only way I can get into my body without getting broken down is through your skin. But the skin is a physical barrier. The
Okay.
size of the molecule is so big, it can never get through your skin. So my first technology, and we got a patent for it, is to reduce the particle size of glutathione to get through your skin. So, like
Okay.
if you take a towel, if you wring the towel gets smaller and smaller
Mhm.
and smaller. Chemically,
Yes.
the towel there's no air in there. Chemically, there's a lot of fluff in there. So if you can take all the squeeze the glutathione molecule, when you squeeze it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and when you got it so small that it got through your skin.
Wow.
So do you kind of like
That
dehydrate it or something,
it's not
something of that
dehydrated.
sort?
It's called protein enveloping method. It's like
Mm.
Okay.
twisting the protein without changing the polarity. So it's still active, so it's not getting denatured. But all you're
Okay.
doing is just twisting it out so that so it gets the particle size gets smaller. So that was the
Wow, that's
first
crazy.
technology I developed. So once I get through my skin, now what? The issue is it has to go through the cells. The cells is a chemical barrier. Skin is a physical
Mhm.
barrier, the cell is a chemical barrier. And the chemical barrier, the size doesn't matter. I don't care what size it is. There's a lock and key. There's a receptor on the cell that tells you that, hey, I'll take it. I don't take this thing. I'll take that one. I don't take the other one. So the cell needs what? To produce energy, it needs
Hmm.
carbohydrates,
Same.
sugars. So I said, okay,
Mm.
what if the molecule is small enough to begin with? What if I take a sugar molecule and stuff it with glutathione inside? I had to find a sugar molecule that doesn't increase diabetes, right? And so we found a
Okay.
bunch of polysaccharide molecules. FDA has this all this molecule as a GRAS status, which is generally regarded as safe, right? You can take as much as you want, nothing happens to you. So I said, okay, I took the molecule, stuff it with glutathione, get through your skin, get to your cells, and within seconds is inside your cell.
Wow.
So that's my second patent. So right now we have about 8 patents approved for this technology. And so we can get through your skin, rub it in, expose to all the cells in the body, and the body just sucks it up like crazy, right? And within
Yeah.
30 seconds to
Yeah.
2 minutes, everything is gone. The head is completely dry. All the glutathione is gone from your skin into the cells.
Oh
And
wow.
when that
And
happened for the very first time, I improved the glutathione levels far beyond. I didn't have to wait for your body to produce it.
That's incredible.
what's that is really amazing. And like, how
But
long does it stay in the body as well? Like, because you said in the
well,
past, like it was staying maximum 15 minutes and it wasn't lasting that long.
it was not
What?
lasting very long. It was not lasting. The reason it was not lasting long because it never entered the cells. It was only in the
Mm.
plasma. So the body just pees it out. It
Yeah.
just gets rid of it. Once it gets inside the plasma, inside your cells, now it can stay on there for 4 to 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever the body can need. It all depends on what your usage is. For
Okay.
example, Ali and Sayed, let's see if I give you $10,000,
Yep.
Oh,
but
thanks.
your expenses for this month is $12,000,
Mm.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Whatever money I give you will be gone like this,
Yep.
gone,
That's true.
because the expenses are more than what I'm giving you. It
You need
won't
to
stay in the
budget.
body. It will stay in your
Hmm.
bank account at all because it's all used up. So if if I give you glutathione and if your needs are very high, it's not going to stay in there for too long, right? It's going to keep on using it
Mhm.
up faster and faster and faster, right? And so, uh, and once you get used up, and let's see now that your expenses have reduced, now you only need $8,000 to month to survive, and I give you $10,000. Hey, I got $2,000 surplus in my bank,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
over a
Savings.
year,
Yeah.
you're
Hmm.
$24,000. Over a year, you can support 3 months without taking any money from me,
Mm.
right? And so glutathione is something like this, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't store, but it if it doesn't get used up, then it stays in the body for a little bit longer, right? But you cannot take too much of it. You cannot take a big whopping dose of glutathione and assume the body's going to have a warehouse that they can store it inside. No, body has no spare parts, have no extra storage space, right? And so it's not going to store anything for you. So you cannot overtake glutathione either. If you do that part, the body's going to unleash all the glutathione out of the system, unleash the detoxification pathways, and all of a sudden you're going to get all kinds of reactions. And that's what happened to me for the first time. In 2007, when we first discovered this molecule, I had no idea how much to give you. I did not know because there was no research done, right?
Yes.
Uh, it took me 14 years from '07 to 2021 to do all my work to figure out how much to give you, how often to give you, how long can I give it to you for, what kind of results I'm going to get. Can I take it indefinitely? What could go wrong? Right? So I had to do all this work to figure out every single thing because nobody was going to fund it. I could do everything on my own.
Hmm.
And so the first thing I did was I gave people too much glutathione because I was injecting glutathione, which is a big 1 gram of dose. Nothing was happening. I said, how bad the topic is going to be, right? Just give topic 1,000 milligrams. Oh my goodness! It was the liver just unleashed all the toxins out of the body. The detox reaction causes rashes and diarrhea and
Mm.
stomach cramps and headaches and fatigue. All kinds of things could happen,
It's too
right?
much. Yeah.
It's just too much because
Yeah.
body's just unleashing all the junk. I say, hey, get rid of it. And so we got to do it slowly. We got to do it slowly. So it took me some time, but now that we have figured out the symptoms doesn't exist, the issues doesn't exist. It happens once in a while, but we can just tell the people to lower it down because everybody's toxic to a certain extent, and I have no idea what the toxicities are. There's no blood test for it.
Yeah.
If,
Everyone's
if
different too. Your
everybody's
body
different,
reacts differently.
if
Mm-hmm.
the toxic load in your body shows up in your blood test, you're in bad shape,
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
right?
Um, Dr. Patel, I had one question for you. Before I wanted to ask you, make sure before we wrap up, um, regarding the effects of vaccines on glutathione. Is there anything you can tell us about that? We're doing a bit of research on this topic, and um,
Yeah.
I'm curious as to did the COVID-19 vaccine have any effects on glutathione levels or any other kinds of vaccines that you can share?
So the in particular the COVID vaccines that
Mm-hmm.
we have seen the last few years has caused a lot of inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when your body has an inflammation coming in, yes, it will deplete the glutathione levels. But by taking glutathione levels, is it going to help the vaccines? No, God, no. It's not going to do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what vaccines are doing, this again, in just a very few cases, not in every cases that's out there. If it causes inflammation, the the body's going through some detox reactions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the body is not 100% active, or it's been suffering with a lot cause of side effects from it. So by improving glutathione reserves or your load, it will manage some of the symptoms for you.
Mm.
But if there's some major issues that caused due to vaccines, it is not going to reverse it at all. So now this is the latest vaccines, right? Before this, we had so many other vaccines that we have given out
Mm-hmm.
for for I don't know, as far as I can remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
100
Yeah.
years now.
Mm-hmm.
So vaccines, uh, this is the newer type of vaccine, so we still have a lot to learn from that. The older vaccines are a little bit different because it is trying to look at your memory cells and trying to tell the body that, hey, remember if this thing comes over here to attack it, right? It's improving
Mm-hmm.
memory cells. And to aid the memory cells, the T cells and the lymphos and the macrophages, we did a trial, in human trial in California, where we give them glutathione for 3 days and see that what happens to that.
Mm-hmm.
The body was actually improving all the cytokines, all the inflammatory markers, uh, and improve the T cell count. So in that sense, the glutathione may aid in the process of vaccination in the sense that, hey, it will help you improve your T cells and remember the body that, hey, if this thing comes attacking you, to make sure to get rid of it.
Mm. So having like a healthy level of glutathione before taking a vaccine will help you maybe manage some kinds of effects that any kind of vaccine might have in it. And that maybe that's why some people like when they take vaccines they notice some negative adverse effects. Maybe it's because glutathione levels are too depleted, processing all the toxicity, and that's why they have some of those effects.
Well, yeah, it's hard to put the correlation together from
Right.
vaccines to glutathione. It's really hard to do so
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, glutathione affects each and every cell in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to, I said that, hey, if vaccine is you have to have improve glutathione levels before you take vaccines. It's like not a true statement for me personally. Even though I would love to people to take glutathione all day long
Mm-hmm.
for other reasons, but not because you're taking vaccines. I would suggest that to do glutathione levels, if you're doing anything with your body, even if you're consuming junk food, to make sure the glutathione levels are optimized. If you're
Right.
taking any antibiotics, any treatments for any diseases, to make sure you optimize your glutathione levels. If you're doing any procedures, any surgeries, because anything that you do is causing increasing oxidative stress to your body.
Mm-hmm.
And increasing oxidative stress to your body is depleting glutathione levels, period. So having glutathione reserves, having glutathione levels optimized for anything that you do is always a good idea.
And then these reserves, where do they live? Are they in like your cells or in the blood or where is it?
It's not too much reserves. So here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Glutathione gets oxidized,
Mm-hmm.
and oxidized glutathione is actually stable inside your bloodstream.
Mm.
and it stays there for long periods of time. And then oxidized glutathione, with the help of either sunlight or vitamin C or some of the food items that you eat, can become glutathione again.
Wow.
And so that's a recycling methods of glutathione. And so it's not like we have a storage capacity. It's not like sugars. If you eat too much sugar, it'll store in the fat cells,
Right.
right? The glutathione, there's no reserves for glutathione in the body. So you have to do it on a daily basis.
I see. Okay, cool. Saeed, anything else before we wrap up?
I'm out of questions myself. I mean, this has been a great episode, Dr. Patel. Thank you for sharing all this information about glutathione. And I did want to use the drawing, to be honest, personally, just to see how does it affect. Like it was such a nice drawing, you know, nucleus with the nucleolus, mitochondria, ribosomes. But anyway, doesn't matter.
You sure did take biology in school? Yep.
Yes, yes, I still remember. But no, thank you so much for coming on. Like this is definitely revolutionary. I'm happy to learn about this, and I want to involve this more into my lifestyle going forward. I hope also people who are watching will do the same. Um,
Absolutely.
do you have any final words before we sign off?
Well, all I can tell you is that if you have never improved the glutathione levels for yourself, do it for 30 days. Just do it for 30 days. Refrain from putting excess toxicity in your body and improve the
Hmm.
glutathione levels. Either you do by supplementation with like my spray that we have,
Hmm.
or the foods that you eat, or do both, and
Yeah,
see the difference. And see the difference. And I can assure you that if your body is even remotely toxic a little bit, you are going to see a difference. So,
awesome. All
and
right,
enjoy good health.
exactly. Thank you guys for watching another episode of A to the Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also, please check out Dr. Patel's revolutionary product, and also his book that Ali is showing us now on screen,
Yes.
The
Glutathione
Glutathione
Revolution.
Revolution. Awesome. And see you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.